So here's another update from Reed and Kay Build a Tiny Home, and we're going to show you the insulation underneath the trailer, which is the whole reason why we stripped out the floor and have been spending the last 2 months trying to put in a new floor. So here's Kay.
So what's going on here? The plywood up top, the flat floor.
Did we try and take all this rust off?
Oh, we tried. We hot seed, we used a brush, we tried all these chemicals. It really wasn't happening, and we decided it would be too expensive and just too time consuming to really get this de-rusted when it's probably just gonna keep rusting. So what we ended up doing, hot seeing, scrubbing what we could, and then lightly spraying Rust-Oleum rust transformer to hopefully prevent any further rust. Yes, and we have 2 layers of pink insulation foam, those thick sheets that you get. I think it's R10, 11, 13?
12?
I don't know.
R12-ish.
Whatever we could get. It's 2 inches thick, each of these, and Reed tediously went underneath when the plywood was here and sharpied out. As you can see, all these beams, it's kind of a whole network under here, and they're all different sizes. So Reed went underneath and sharpied out the outline in between the beams to figure out what size foam we needed to fit. Then we flipped our floor upside down, individually cut all of these pieces of foam to exactly the right size. And then we were a little worried about water and dirt spraying up when we drive this thing, so we wanted to put a protective layer over the foam to hopefully address that issue. So we found a roll of this really thick tarp, like kind of construction tarp for scaffolding. Took 2 layers of that, also individually cut them, glued all of these boards, so the 2 layers of foam plus the 2 layers of tarp, had to glue tape around the edges to keep the glue from sticking to other things we didn't want it to.
And we glued it with liquid nails.
And stacked the boards on top of each other to get the weight while it was settling. Let it sit for a week and a half just to be sure, and then we flipped the boards upside down and popped them into the holes in between the beams. They almost all worked. We had to do a little bit of shaving down where we'd been a little too ambitious with our foam size and things were not quite fitting right, but in general it worked a lot better than we were expecting. So it looks pretty sweet under here right now. We have a double layer insulated floor with these 2 layers of tarp that will hopefully increase the R value even further. When we do put on the floor, we're going to additionally put a layer of cork on top of the plywood, which will hopefully further increase our R value, hopefully keep us super insulated. And we are going to seal this guy with some what's it called?
The spraying
Silicone foam spray.
Spraying foam.
Loctite foam. The kind of spray foam that expands to fill all these gaps in between the foam and the beams, to hopefully make this super secure, super insulated, and keep us warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
So we clearly know what we're doing. We're definitely questionable professional carpenters. And yeah, we got 1 step down and about 200 to go.